Potham's in the house. That's kind of cool, right?
Dyer's ban.
Queen and Pain first pick. Also not too shocking
Yeah.
here.
It's cool to see the Priestess. The Queen of Pain pick doesn't surprise me at all. If you look at Elusive's match history, Queen of Pain is one of their most commonly picked characters, and they do have a pretty good success rate with her. I think the most interesting thing, though, is that the Ballers, for want of a better short name, are picking exactly the same roster that they've had in their only visible match on Dota Buff, which was Death Prophet, Bane, Pudge, Omni Knight, and Medusa. So we'll see if they go for the full combo there or not.
Yeah, we're definitely not the first. This is not the first time that the ticket's been an issue. So if you go on Dota Buff, there's a lot of teams that either aren't even listed or they only have a couple games played, even though we're pretty much at the tail end of week 2.
Oh,
here,
yeah.
So definitely been an issue. Don't know if that's Reborn. I just gonna credit to that because that's every other issue and bug. I just kind of just shrug.
Well, I think also part of it is just player error. Players forget to put it on the ticket, or players don't have access to the ticket, as we saw today. So, you know, a lot of things combining to produce less than a full.
We're still gonna have to
so
watch
that's
the
why
game
you should
here. So
watch it on this.
Yeah, not
definitely
an issue.
watch it on Twitch.
Not an issue. Yep, people still get to see their dotes. So, Death Prophet first pick. I don't think I've cast a match since her change where she was picked. Had a little experience with myself. I've played against it too. I don't mind the changes mostly just because the passive was broken up and made the hero stronger, like just straight out of the gate kind of thing. The move speed buff. Just in general, because now the cooldowns are different as well, and the ultimate level 1, I think that's the biggest change. It's stronger right off the bat, so that's a nice little change as well.
I mean, also the Spirit Siphon has opened up an entirely new skill path for her. So if you go ahead and see, there's the Pudge. If you play against a mid laner that's very vulnerable and can't really play from a range effectively, if you max out Spirit Siphon and just chase them around the lane the entire time with it up, it can be a very difficult lane for melees to deal with.
And not to mention, like I said, the base move speed for DP was buffed just because that's what her passive used to do as you leveled it. So now not only can you get Spirit Siphon, but also the base move speed's increased, so you can just run them down if you're so inclined. So yeah, as you said, we do see the Pudge pick, which something that's definitely kind of a niche pick. I think I saw it maybe once all last season. So always makes
the combo here is with Nightmare. Yeah, the combo here is with Nightmare. So the assumption is that Bane's Nightmare sets up a free hook, which should be a free kill all through the early and mid game.
10 seconds to
I mean,
go.
do you really have to set it up
The issue
with
here is
Aether Lens and Scepter? Like you can hook from off screen almost.
That's true.
And you have
That's true.
4-second cooldown with the Scepter upgrade, I think, right?
Dyer's pick.
It's just
it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, so I would like to see Elusive have looked at the match history and ban the Medusa in the last phase, but I don't know if they've done that. So we'll see how it goes. But again, this is exactly the same draft they ran in their only visible game on Dota Buff. So they're going to be running the Medusa for the ultimate combination with Exorcism, since Exorcism deals physical damage, not magical damage. It'll be active throughout the entire Medusa ult.
Am I missing some synergy on the Ballers? Am I missing something?
Reserve time.
Or is this just kind of an amalgamation of hero selections? Is there a hidden strat here that I'm missing?
Right now, I mean,
Radiance ban.
I'm looking at the team, and I've already mentioned the Bane Pudge synergy. Beyond that, there's not a whole lot throughout the team. Death Prophet usually doesn't want to build an early BKB, so the Omni Knight's good there. But he's not, especially great with her. Guardian Angel is just generically good, but again, that's just Omni Knight being good on his own. The synergy really comes in with the combination of Medusa ult and Death Prophet ult, because Medusa's ult, Stone Gaze, amplifies physical damage that people take, and Death Prophet's Exorcism is dealing physical damage. So it stuns the entire team in place and amplifies the damage that they're taking from Exorcism. It's a really easy way to get a team wipe.
We'll see if
and we can even see the PL ban indicating that, PL ban taking away one of the defusal characters, indicating that they do want to run this Medusa. They just don't want one of the mana drain threats out there.
Yeah, well, AM still
And
available.
if they pick Medusa here, oh, Ember Spirit, so they've changed it up a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's still, that would have been pretty cool to see both the ultimates for the Death Prophet and the Medusa. That'd actually be pretty neat to see in action. But
oh yeah, it's a disgusting combination. If you put another good combination with Medusa is Medusa tied Witch Doctor, because Death Ward also deals physical damage, and the time on Ravage is just long enough to get the stun off if you Stone Gaze and then Ravage right away. The actual stun duration from getting knocked up in the air for Ravage is long enough to get the gaze off 100% of the time. So if you get your Witch Doctor and Oggs, he just brutalizes the enemy team.
what do you think about this Enchantress? Is this, I mean, I know you rarely if ever see it in competitive, but is this a laning Enchantress, or is this the usual standard jungle?
No, I'm anticipating it's going to be jungle. It's a good pick because it allows you to get some additional EXP and additional gold without having to play around with pulling too much. And she's very flexible in that she can either be primarily farming for a fast Midas, or she can play for ganks and lane control. And it really depends on the creeps that she gets and the lanes that are set up.
Well, I'm thinking
but looking at the way that
Elusive Roshan too, just because they don't necessarily have a great, Roche taking team, and the passive for the Enchantress I think would help them out a lot, just to kind of mitigate the damage.
Is very good.
Yeah, and they have two other.
I would actually guess it. Yeah, I would actually guess that Untouchable is a big reason why we saw the Ember Spirit pick, because Sleight of Fist doesn't care about Untouchable.
Yeah, and she can definitely itemize, and especially I haven't seen an Aether Lens on her yet. I mean, technically you could, I don't know, what is the ultimate? Would that be Aether Lens, or would that be Dragon Lance, because it's a regular attack and it's just modified?
Aether Lens.
Okay. Really? Okay. Interesting.
I believe that's what it is for the Impetus range, because I haven't seen it in action with I like the Spectre pick here. I haven't seen it in action with the Oggs and the Aether Lens at the same time, but I have heard people talking about the combination, so I would imagine that is the one you go after. You might be able to get both for even more range, but
I guess you really don't think about that all too much, do you?
No, it's actually not something that's come up.
Yeah. It's kind of what happens when you have all these new items integrated and you have 100+ heroes to kind of go through. You got to think of all the different scenarios. Not like Enchantress was ever highly coveted by anybody in the first place, but
yeah, there was a time during one of the TIs where she was a top pick, maybe TI3 maybe, but it's been a while. She has not seen the same kind of love in the jungle as, well, the jungle in general has just not seen the kind of love that you would hope to see.
Jungle love. Yeah, and especially in like the professional scene, unless it's Chuan or Puppy, it doesn't really get touched. It's rarely.
Yeah, I believe Puppy was the one who was running the Enchantress as well at the time, so that could just be more of a Puppy
Evil
thing
Geniuses
than
do it once or twice as well, but it's very few and far between. So those don't look like support items, my friend.
Off the Enchantress, or
I don't know, man. She spent all her gold.
I would guess that she's going to be trying to gank and stuff. She's bringing a lot of stats, a lot of damage, and a lot of regen.
And she's going to say hi to
or I guess it could be offlane Enchantress. Maybe she's skilled Untouchable first, so it will be offlane Enchantress. You were right. This is going to be a laning Enchantress, Court Priestess.
I'm okay with that. Well, I'm not okay with that. I'm okay with it not jungling, but I don't know if solo offlane is really the route you want to take. I like the bold strategy. I'm okay with it, but
think about the lanes. You want to have the Queen mid because she's going to dominate the Pudge, and then you don't want to have the Enchantress safe lane. So you just stick her off lane. You hope she doesn't die. She's going to have a little bit of a rough time against the Ember Spirit because Chains and Flame Guard are his primary damage, and those are all magic damage. And that, coupled with the Purification off of Omni Knight, is going to be a lot of burst, but it's going to be very hard for Bane to harass her down. He's the only. It's going to be offlane Omni Knight with a Bane Pudge support combination.
I'm all. Oh my
That
gosh,
lets them
this
use
is
the Nightmare
awesome.
combo.
This is awesome.
That lets them use the Nightmare combo earlier.
That is fantastic. I think they were listening to the stream. I think they heard you mention that. There you see the level 1 soul or level 2 soul siphon. Not the most effective. Oh my gosh, already? Wow, Omni Knight already
went down already.
I mean, there's any number of combination of things that could have happened, but definitely was not expecting a.
Got body blocked really hard by the Earthshaker. It was beautiful. He tried to run through that small area right next to the hard camp, and Earthshaker did a tremendous job of limiting his movement.
They can do it again too. The arrow, he's gonna be able to juke it.
Oh, the arrow was
they're blocking him in. He's gonna have to eat it. Use a tango and try to get out of here. I don't really know what he's going to be able to do. It's kind of sad when the Enchantress is having a better go of things. But I mean, that's kind of the risk you run when you have a experimental offlane like that with these two heroes. So Enchantress definitely this. I mean, you can make arguments for both of how they would be successful in their own ways. I mean, Enchantress needs her heal though, obviously.
Yeah, she really needs to have that heal ability to get away from the Pudge, who still hasn't skilled Rot or Hook, but at level 2 it's going to be difficult for the Enchantress to get away from that combination.
Yeah, well, he went for Brain Sap. The Bane went for Brain Sap level 1, so there really wouldn't be. I think he's just trying to see what's more opportunistic, and if he can make something happen, he can skill it when the time comes. I mean, Pain's making a very early rotation here. Nope. Just trying to grab the ruin, I guess. Keep Death Prophet away. See an early arrow here.
Yeah, the Priestess actually came mid expressly to block the creep wave, just to give Queen of Pain a little bit more breathing room in that lane. I think that's a really interesting thing to see. I've never seen that done before. So, something to consider. Supports are often thought of as like, oh, you gank, or you stack, or you harass, but there's another thing that you can do.
This Enchantress literally has balls of steel, just running through the tri-lane. Like, just... does not care.
Sproink.
Yeah, and actually the Omni Knight's just making moves up here. Gets a lot of damage on the Spectre. Forced him to pop a Sav early. Notices that the Mirana's missing and she's posturing mid, so he can be a little more aggressive here. It's already level 4.
I'm really interested to see why they're rotating the Priestess and not the Earthshaker. Fissure is just as good a stun as Arrow, especially if you place it very well. It's easier to hit, definitely more reliable. And he needs essentially less levels to be effective.
So in spite of that level 1 death,
you're online at level 1.
That sub 1 minute death on the Omni Knight, he's already level 4.5, whereas his counterpart is 2.5, so
not
quite the disparity already. Definitely not.
Oh, here we go. That could be a kill here.
Oh yeah. He really had no way of knowing whether Mirana was in the jungle, whether it be stacking or just kind of posturing mid, waiting for an arrow. So the inevitable return pretty much seals his fate there. So he'll go down, but they're getting a lot more out of that off lane than Elusive is, so not all is lost. That is his second death, however, though, so just keep that in mind for...
Yeah, but he doesn't really need items so much as he needs levels.
And that's why he's
the fact that he's out-leveling.
Yep, that's definitely a win. Win in the Baller's book by far.
The thing that's surprising me is that we haven't seen any kills on the Enchantress yet.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's actually a really threatening combination.
She bought so much Regents. I think they're just... I mean, Ember's atop the CS board, so he's really not trying. This is actually his first attempt. And he could be in trouble here.
Yeah, he might actually go down.
They got TPs
coming
in.
Looking for a hook off this.
He's using everything he's got.
Oh, good salve. And they have... That's probably going to be a dead Enchantress.
They have 4 heroes, so...
Nightmare.
Actually, the Mirana misses the earlier arrow, and she's pretty much just a range creep at this point, so...
Yeah, that is the weakness of Priestess support. You kind of have one shot, one opportunity, and if you miss it...
Alright, Eminem.
Ghost.
Man, this Omni, look at him, he's just beating these guys. He's just taking that hammer and just clubbing people to death. And he used both the mangoes, so a little aggressive. Gonna take a couple tower shots here. And actually, they could turn this around now. With the dagger, there's phase boots up on the Spectre. One more hit. Only one level on Desolate though. Yeah, that's actually, that could be a dead Spectre. Yep, that is. That's
a dead Spectre. That was too much.
Not like this. Not like this. That's the thing, is like you have the Spectral Dagger out, you got the phase boots, uninhibited pathing. You think you might be able to pick off a kill, but Omni already has his boots as well, and with the 2 levels in Dejanara, he's able to keep the Spectre at bay here. Wow, what a grab by the Mirana, jacking the rune from the Death Prophet. Soul Siphon comes out, and she used Leap to get there, so she's got to be careful here.
Yeah. You get to see a little bit of the strength of the new Death Prophet move. It's going to be a kill.
No.
Oh no, barely gets out.
And again, the tower dealing the most damage out of any hero on the map. Something that we definitely got a dose of yesterday.
Oh, Omni's getting it done.
And he got the
oh my lord.
He has the regen to back it up now too. He's got another Fairy Fire and another Mango, so he can just keep doing that now. I can't believe they're having this much success. And another Sav's committed by, and a TP rotation as well. Oh my gosh, this. Okay, so they have a TP rotation from like Wop, and she's gonna have to use Sonic Wave just to make sure the Omni Knight doesn't beat the crap out of her carry and support. I think he's calling enough attention up there now. That's good. Okay.
As far as unconventional things go, we're seeing a lot of success out of this less than standard roster.
Yeah. Oh, just able to escape the arrow, and the heal's actually back up now, so they're just gonna keep playing Ring Around Rosie, block her off, and just gonna tango out. Oh my gosh, this is Enchantress! They're playing Ring Around the Rosie, and it's just it's embarrassing at this point. They're gonna get the kill, I think. They're gonna have to commit for it at this point, yeah. Slide a fish to finish it off. A forlorn arrow here trying to get the pudge, but no, but she wants it though. She's gonna need one more. Oh, he's gonna get the
good deny.
Spectre's gonna use his ult and pop in here. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Dukin! This Satyr with the kill steal. That's what happens when you crowd.
Well, I like to see the Spectre going for this itemization choice. He's already picked up the Urn of Shadows, and he has the Sage's Mask to go after a fast defusal. He's recognized that having a fast Radiance is not going to be a possibility this game because the Omni Knight's been able to control the lane so much. So he's just going for some mid-range items, and he wants to be effective in the mid-game.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely a big fan of the Urn too, just because you can acquire the chargers so quickly, and they actually get a double kill down on bottom. A little bit of overcommitment here. Not ideal. Spectre actually goes down top too. She's all by her lonesome because of the rotations bottom. And we'll see that level 1 Death Prophet go to work here as they try to chip away at this T1 top.
Have fun trying to bust down radiant structures now.
That Death
well, it's going to be a dead tower.
Top,
they already.
On top
well,
of
they
CS
have fort actually.
I want to mine the top tower.
Yeah, they have a fort still.
Yeah, we're seeing.
Opt not to use it, I guess. Okay.
Tower's gone.
And looks like DP will be going for the Yules first, which I definitely agree with.
Come on, sprites.
Just a really handy item. Earthshaker.
Oh, Emperor missed an opportunity there.
Great arrow. Oh, the Echo Slam, so much damage, but he's gonna need some backup here. There's a Remnant out, and he might be able to posture. Nope. Queen of Pain's able to blink in and finish him off.
Oh.
Sonic Wave, and that's a double kill for the Queen of Pain.
There.
that's
she's been all over the map. She's been doing a really good job of rotating. You can see that she is 5th on the CS chart with only 21, behind even the Omni Knight. But she's 2nd on net worth because she's been in place all of the time.
Yeah, and I don't think any ultimate's been squandered so far. Everyone resulted in a kill, had purpose, and helped out her team. So she's doing okay. So I don't know if she has anything on the courier or anything. What do you think would be best for the Queen of Pain in this scenario?
Well, I'm looking at a Queen of Pain who's playing against an Ember Spirit. There's really only one item for me there. I'm going after the Orchid every time.
I just haven't seen them go head to head, nor do I see the Queen of Pain really going up, trying to pick them off, at least by herself. And I don't really know what else they could use to pick off the Ember, so I don't know if that's really a priority. Just because I mean, I get it, like,
Well,
in
at
the
some point
battle,
it's
but
gonna-
ideally he's not going to be in the middle. That's why they have the Pudge, that's why they have the DP, that's pretty much why they have the draft that they have.
Well, even then, like, you look at the Death Prophet, if you can orc it out the Death Prophet before Exorcism goes down, that's another big disable. And you could talk about something like a Sheepstick
Yeah, it
being
is the
another
orc.
effective
You
tool
see the
here, but
quarterstaff right away.
yeah, I don't think that Og's First is the way to go this game.
Definitely. An
Although it
item
is
that
good
they
through
wanna keep in
Repel.
mind, though. Yeah, we've been known to be wrong.
Won't last much longer.
It would be the first time. So I'm somewhat hesitant about making any claim because God knows I'll be wrong. They're waiting on the hook, and he actually is. I think there's some mind games there. He tried too
good
hard
hook.
to juke, and he actually runs into the hook here. I need some Searing Chains, but they're still
Oh,
on
man.
cooldown.
Nature's
Look at-
attendance
She's so
is
tanky.
pretty good.
Yeah, was it level 3 now?
Level 3, and she's even going in and punishing the Ember.
Second DP ult here.
Them dire
Not able to
builders
do
are tough
anything.
as
And
nails for
we've got
now.
3 postures around mid, and
Radiant's top
it's
tower is
just the
taking
bottom
hits.
here. He's got reinforcements coming in now. Spectre Hunt.
Difficulties.
I don't know if he's actually going to go in on this though.
Radiant's top tower.
No.
is
No.
under
Decided
They
not to.
protect the tower here.
Priest just didn't have him.
They're really wondering if they
going
want to commit
everywhere.
to this. The
Tower
Quap's
could
going
use
to
a little help.
trap or
Radiant's
Q
top
on the
tower
Pudge,
is
but I don't know
ready.
that they want to fight this. Uh-oh.
Or Earthshaker's in.
Uh-oh.
Good
He's
echo.
all in. Oh, that arrow though! And this Enchantress doing so much damage. The Enchantress actually moving away. Trying to get away from all the damage to get more up on her ultimate. And this Queen of Pain's actually going to go down.
Nature attend us.
And with no mana but Nature's Attendance. It's just such an absurd skill. It's just so quick. And they just don't have the burst.
Yeah, meanwhile,
They don't have the burst on Ballers just to take her out, you know?
the Priestess was actually able to TP out under fire from the Ember Spirit, who didn't have chains up. And the whole time, Spectre just farming away, picking up those items.
Yeah, Spectre doing Spectre things. See a casual bracer. I think this is definitely still a Radiance Rush, my friend. There's no signs of a diffusal.
You think so?
anywhere. Yeah, I don't know what you were saying before. There's no diffusal parts anywhere.
Had a at one point in time, yeah, the Sage's Mask in his
Sage's
inventory,
Mask
but I
hasn't
guess that
built
was just
into
going from
diffusal.
the Oh, you're right. I'm dumb. I'm fucking dumb. Anyways, the Bracer.
I didn't want to
Bracer's
put
gonna
you on
delay
blast,
even
bro.
more,
I'm
so-
sorry, dude. I'm sorry. You just
That's all
kept
good.
saying
No, no. You gotta say what you gotta say.
Alright,
Like,
Ember
if I
does
make a
get
mistake,
BOTs.
call me out on it.
Yeah, likewise. So Ember goes for the BOTs, which we saw yesterday. It really just depends on the flow of the game. He's doing fantastic, as is his team, for the most part. And he feels like
Radiant's mid-tower's
the
coming
Battlefield just
far.
wouldn't offer as much here. And Pudge, oh my gosh, just having to be conscious of what's going on and able to step aside from the arrow, but
Mid-tower could use a
still goes down here. There's a TP
That's
right
gonna
in the
be
face.
another kill for
Yeah,
Ember.
Ember's gonna get that for sure. He won't be able to lock down the Queen of Pain.
Wow.
But... Okay, so drums on the Spectre. So a little more emphasis on the fight
Alright.
early. It's a lot of stats and it's a lot of additional HP early on. So they feel like with all the aggression, he needs to be a part of that. So there we go. There's the Soul Siphon in action there. Look at that, so much damage, and the Omni's there
It's gonna
just
be a
to.
kill. Oh, he didn't shift click the Brain Sap. That could have been a costly mistake. Thankfully, the Ember Spirit did have a haste up.
To go down for Elus1ve, and
Guess what's
DP ult's gonna go to work. I mean, every one of these has done significant damage to a tower. So 3 ults, 3 towers.
That's what
Plus
it's
he's gonna
looking
get
like.
hit by the arrow, but there's really no one else in sight. There's
Oh,
there's a-
good hook.
Yeah, there's an Earthshaker nearby, but it's just the 2 of them. The tower goes down. Pudge uses his ult on the Earthshaker and he's out. And they've got to disengage here. Goes for a last second hook, but just not enough. Gonna need the Aether Lens if he wants to land something like that. Oh my gosh, they see him with the creeps, they scout him out and they get an arrow, but there's no follow up to that. There's not much they can do at this juncture. It looks like Enchantress. Alright, so the double drums build for Elus1ve.
The dire best do something about that.
Well,
bottom
it's
tower.
better than the double earn.
Yeah.
No
Those are kind of the early items for Enchantress. If you
So
don't.
they're gonna actually take 2 towers here on the end of that fight, and with this tower going down, that's a finished mech for the Omni Knight already. Yep.
Just couldn't save that
He's gonna
Yeah,
be,
he's had a lot of farm. That
He's already
lane
level
looked like
9
it was
too.
going to be rough for him, but then the Priestess rotated. Yeah,
the
the
same
Priestess
level
left,
as the
so he
mid.
had no harass.
he's the same level as the opposing mid player. And has comparable farm actually too.
Yeah, the Queen of Pain's been rotating a lot and getting a lot of kills, so she has net worth through that, but the CSing has not been equitable.
And they're not even
So,
touching
pretty big
towers, so
gap.
that's a lot of gold just sitting on the table there. 4 towers to 0, and that's kind of showing in the net worth disparity. So Yules is actually completed on the Death Prophet, and she picks up a point booster. So heading the route of the Octarine
Well, it's a
Core.
pretty standard set of items, yeah.
Well, I would not argue that pick at all. So they're gonna use a Marana ult. Maybe try to get into position here, but the Death Prophet ult's up again already, so I'm not really sure how they're gonna fight into this. Get an arrow
Well,
into the clutch.
Earthshaker's looking for X, but
Yeah,
he
he
can't.
got one on
Oh,
2,
well,
but the
he got
Queen of
him.
Pain to retaliate here. And they don't have, Omni Knight does not have Guardian Angel actually, so gets a second kill, and the grip is going to ensure the third, so triple kill. Oh, and an uphill miss,
Oh,
unfortunate
the
for
uphill
Enchantress.
dodge.
Wow.
Yeah, the issue there is that the
Oh.
Earthshaker did not find an Echo Slam on the Death Prophet, so that Exorcism ult went off the entire fight. And that, combined with the Purification nuke out of the Omni Knight, was a lot of damage over a very short period of time.
Alright, Brian. Well, Spectre heard your call and is agreeing with you. You see the first Blade of Alacrity out, so it will be a Diffusal first item for the Spectre here. And Ember's just...
I was right for all the wrong reasons.
This Death Prophet has no fear at all. And
Well, she has a Yules, there's really nothing to be afraid
yeah,
of.
she's so far ahead at this point that she can afford to be a little cocky. Unfortunately, the Queen of Pain is just nowhere near. She's almost half the net worth of her opponent here. Nowhere near the finishing that Orchid. Nice D-ward here by the Bane. Yeah, Omni Knight's gonna have finished Greaves very shortly here. And
This is going to be
Ember's pretty much done with Battle Fury as well too. Just a couple hundred more gold. So.
well, on the plus side for this is Envious? Forgot the team's name. That's good. Elusive. Sorry. On the plus side for Elusive, they have a lot of magic damage on their roster, so they're not really item dependent. So being behind farm sucks, but they're not as far out as another team might be. They still have the Queen of Pain, they still have the Earthshaker, and the Enchantress is bringing good base damage. So if they can find a good Echo Slam fight, they can still turn this game around. It's not out of their reach.
Yeah, it's just the level discrepancy is what kind of freaks me out. I mean, the Murano's only level 6.
That's really hurting them.
Quap actually just hit 11, so a level 2 ultimate. Airshaker's level 7, so I mean, Blink Dagger, long ways away. Level 2 ultimate, long ways away. Deathbot actually dodges the arrow and it hits his hits his support, but this is really just kind of a little bit of flexing. But this tower's gonna go down, and not a whole lot that Elusive can do about it here.
Well, they've Priestess ulted again.
Yeah, they're
might
just
be
not
looking
ready
for
to fight
something.
though. They're not ready to fight.
Dyer's mid towers having technical
All right, they're ready to go in now.
I guess. I mean,
Ultimate's up here.
really, what can they wait for? There aren't any items that
Yeah,
are
that's
almost
what I was
done,
saying.
so. there's
Oh, they
crap
get the
to go
deny
for.
off. Fantastic. That's gonna help a little bit, but still, they're losing map control like crazy, and Ember the entire time just split pushing while his team is making movements in the mid.
Yeah, Spectre's doing the same thing, but having that diffusal is not going to be as impactful as, you know,
No, God, no.
having
The
6 towers.
Flame Guard and the Battle Fury will also push a lot faster than a Spectre here, who's still a decent way away from the diffusal. She's still a few items away from really making an impact in this game.
Yeah, she'll need to find a defensive item, either a Vanguard or a Heart, to really start having an impact on this game. And that's quite a ways away at the rate she's going.
Death Prophet actually almost finished with the Octane Claw already too, so that's really going to be devastating, as they're going to be able to take fights and towers pretty much at will here. Split engagement here. Death Prophet all this popped. Omni Knight's
Yeah, they're gonna
actually alright. They're gonna commit the grip on the Queen of Pain just to make sure she goes down. Soul Siphon, a great hook, and Enchantress will go down as well. Another arrow thrown out, but he doesn't mean too much here. They're gonna pop the Graves, and I think they're ready for high ground here. They got the tail end of the ultimate. Echo Slam, Ember Spirit. Doesn't even care. They're taking 2 lanes at once here.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a GG pretty soon. I don't know that they were ready for this draft. I mean, Dire came in with a pretty good idea of what they wanted to do, and they just were unable to control the lanes to the degree that they needed to accomplish that. It's a team that can get effective very early with just 1 or 2 items, but they were unable to win the lane phase to get those items.
Yeah, I'll definitely eat crow. I mean, I was very confused as to how they were going to bring it together, but oh my gosh, perfect timing. Pops the Greaves, they're back up off cooldown right as soon as the pop ult is committed. Gangle's used, and I think they're just going to clean house here, Brian.
Yep, as you said, the level discrepancy is just too high.
Yeah, it's just too much here, and Earthshaker's there, but he already committed his ultimate. He's got nothing to offer other than a Fisher here and there, so that's 2 lanes minimum, and likely a GG call here.
I would expect a GG unless they want to use a little bit of extra time to think about their draft, which is always an option for teams in this sort of series format.
Ember and Death
sort of takes a moment.
So far. I mean, they're literally twice as far ahead as the highest on their opponent's team.
Yeah, the Spectre's sitting at around 7k, and the Death Prophet's going to be up at 14 in no time.
They're just cleaning house now, getting a couple more kills, padding the stats here. Death Prophet ult is actually up in another 20 seconds, so they really want to go for the GG push. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean,
not much you can say.
Not a whole lot. Yeah, to say at this point. You look at where things went wrong, and it all comes down to handling the Omni Knight. I don't think they did a good job of zoning out the Omni Knight. Sure, they picked up the early 2 kills, but then as soon as the Priestess left, he felt like he had complete free reign on the lane.
Which he did. I mean, the Spectre spent at least 500 just in consumables, and there's a GG call. So, fantastic execution by the Ballers. I definitely leave my words as a fantastic synergy they had, and just great lane dominance as well. They knew what they wanted to do, and they were able to pull it off pretty much flawlessly, almost uninhibited completely. So. Ballers take game.
All right, well, I will see you in game 2, and I look forward to seeing the Omni Knight ban.
you think it merits a first round ban?
Well, maybe not a first round, but it's got to get banned at some point. They got completely destroyed by the Omni. Yeah. I mean, you look at the kills, and the Ember Spirit has the most, and the Death Prophet has more, but your roster really fell apart when the Spectre couldn't get any traction, and that's all due to the Omni Knight.
Yes, sir. All right, we're going to take a quick break here, and then we'll get into game 2.